The wind was silent that night. In a quiet village deep in Kazakhstan, an old farmer named Ibrahim walked slowly through his field. The stars were bright, the moon was hidden, and only the soft sound of dry grass could be heard under his boots. Then, suddenly, the ground shook. A strange rumble filled the air. Birds flew out of the forest. Cows began to scream. Ibrahim looked up and saw something that made his heart stop. A fireball was falling from the sky. But it wasn't like a meteor. It moved too fast, and then it slowed down mid-air. It made no sound. A bright blue trail followed it. The object looked like a smooth black stone. Glowing from inside. It crashed into the forest behind his farm. There was no explosion, no fire, just silence. Then, his old radio exploded with a loud pop, and all the lights in his home went out. 10 minutes later, Ibrahim picked up a flashlight and walked toward the crash site. His hands were shaking. The forest felt colder than usual, and the air smelled like burned metal. As he moved closer, the flashlight flickered. Then it died. Darkness. But ahead, something was glowing. A perfect sphere, almost 15 feet wide, lay silently in the grass. It didn't look broken. Its surface was smooth, black, and pulsing with soft blue lights. Ibrahim stepped forward slowly. The sphere was humming, like it was breathing. He reached out with one hand. But just before touching it, a loud sound came from the sky. Helicopters. A spotlight hit him. Soldiers shouted in English. One of them pushed him back. "Step away. This is a restricted area." Ibrahim didn't understand. More trucks came. Within minutes, the whole area was surrounded by soldiers, scientists, and people in black suits. They brought machines and scanners. Ibrahim was taken away and never seen again. 3 days later, somewhere in Nevada, USA, in a high-security lab deep underground, the sphere sat quietly in a glass chamber. No one knew where it came from. NASA denied any satellite crash. Russia said it wasn't theirs. China refused to comment. But something about this object felt alive. Dr. Mira Collins, a leading physicist, stood in front of the sphere, watching its light pulse. "This is not human," she whispered. Her assistant, Tom, frowned. "Then what is it?" She didn't answer. They had run every test. No heat, no radiation. But when they placed a hand on its surface, it reacted. The lights changed color. The hum grew louder. And a strange pattern appeared on the wall. Like a star map. That map didn't match anything in known space. Something else was strange. Anyone who touched the sphere began to dream. Not normal dreams, but visions of a place full of tall silver trees, flying machines, and floating cities. 1 soldier screamed in his sleep, repeating a word. "Zoronek. Zoronek, they're watching us." Meanwhile, outside Earth's orbit in deep space, far beyond the moon, a small object floated silently. It looked like a rock, but a WASN single quotes T. Inside, an alien creature with gray skin and black eyes opened its mouth. No sound came out, just a beam of light. The sphere on Earth blinked. Once, a signal had been sent. The creature turned its head and whispered into the darkness. "They found the prison. Prepare the message." Back on Earth, the secret meeting 5 world leaders sat in a dark room, watching footage of the sphere. The US president looked worried. What if it's a weapon? A Russian general crossed his arms. Or a message. The Chinese ambassador leaned forward. "Maybe it's not meant for us. Maybe we weren't supposed to find it." Dr. Mira entered the room. She played the star map again. Then showed the dream data. All people who touched the object saw the same place. "It's trying to show us something. But I don't think we're reading it right." The president asked, "What do you think it is?" She hesitated. "I think it's not a tool. I think it's a being." Night. Lab security footage at exactly 2:14 a.m. The lights in the lab flickered. Then the cameras froze. When they restarted, one scientist was missing. Only her shoes and ID badge were left on the floor. The sphere was still glowing. But now, it had a crack. The cover-up next day, the news said there was an earthquake. In Kazakhstan, no mention of a crash. No mention of the sphere. The story disappeared, but online, a video leaked, blurry, shaky footage of a black sphere floating above the ground, surrounded by soldiers. Millions watched it. Some said it was fake. Some said it was aliens. Governments denied everything. But one group didn't believe the lies. They called themselves the Phantom Network, ex-military, rogue scientists, truth seekers. They had been watching for years. And now they had found what they were waiting for. Inside the sphere, unknown location. Camera goes dark. We hear a heartbeat. Then a voice speaks in broken English. You stole the key. The gate will open. You were warned. Flashback minus 10,000 years ago. Quick vision. A massive structure floats above Earth. Inside it, alien beings argue. A powerful object, the same sphere, is locked away in a crystal cage. One alien says, if it falls into the wrong hands, the war will begin again. Another responds, then we bury it. On the only planet they can't return to. Earth. Present. Day, last seen. Dr. Mira wakes up from a strange dream. Her hands are shaking. She runs to her lab and checks the sphere's data. It has begun transmitting something. But not in any known language. It's a countdown. She whispers to herself. Something is coming. Outside her window, the sky flashes for just a second. A black triangle floats silently above the clouds. Start hook, first 5 to 7 minutes. The lab was quiet. Too quiet. At 3:02 a.m., inside the underground military base in Alaska, security cameras began to glitch. Red warning lights flashed briefly, then stopped. Dr. Mira Collins stood alone in front of the alien sphere. Her fingers trembled as she adjusted her glasses. She had been watching the object for hours, waiting for it to do something. Anything. And then, it happened. The sphere opened, silently, like a flower blooming in reverse. The inside was not metal. It was liquid, floating in midair. A small cube rose from the center, black, but glowing red from inside, like it had a heartbeat. She reached for it. The moment her hand touched the cube, time slowed down. Her body froze. Her mind exploded with images, stars, wars, strange symbols. A planet breaking apart, and something whispering in her ear, "You are not ready." Suddenly, she was thrown backward. Her head hit the floor. Her ears were ringing. When she looked up, the sphere was closed again, but the cube was gone. The next day, emergency meeting. Military officers, scientists, and high-level agents filled the room. Screens showed 3D models of the sphere, maps of space, and biological readings. Dr. Mira stood at the front, bruised but calm. "This is not just technology," she said. "This is biotech. It's alive, and it knows we're here." A general scoffed. "Are you saying it thinks?" "I'm saying," she replied, "it learns, it remembers, it reacts." One agent stood. "Then why not destroy it?" Mira shook her head. "Because now it's connected to us. We break it. We don't know what we're unleashing." New discoveries in a hidden lab under the Pentagon. Another team had been working in secret. They had made copies, or tried to. The metal of the sphere, once scanned, revealed a new element. Not on the periodic table. It responded to thoughts, not just touch. When scientists focused their mind on certain shapes, the metal bent into those shapes. This was more than tech. It was responsive matter. They called it Project Phantom. Within weeks, engineers created the first human-made version, a small drone that could change shape based on voice commands. But something was wrong. The drone worked, but only for some people. Others, when they tried, fell unconscious. One even had a seizure. Dr. Mira reviewed the data. "This tech is choosing its user," she said. It's not a machine, it's judging. A sudden attacking a remote testing field. 2 soldiers tested the prototype drone. It floated above their heads, following commands. Then, it stopped. The drone began to glow red. A sound like a deep voice came from it. A strange alien word repeated again and again. Zoranuk, Zoranuk, Zoranuk. One soldier screamed and collapsed. His eyes turned black. Before anyone could act, the drone shot into the sky, vanished. At the lab, Mira watched in horror. That wasn't a test drone, she whispered. That was a beacon. Meanwhile, somewhere in deep space on a large alien ship, many miles away, a light blinked. The signal had reached them. A tall figure, thin and pale, walked to a large screen. He raised a hand and a hologram of Earth appeared. They've touched the key, he said. The countdown begins. Another alien with 6 glowing eyes nodded. Send the first wave. Observe. Do not attack. Yet, Earth reacts back on Earth. World leaders met again. Fear was rising. Satellite systems were failing randomly. Weather patterns were changing. Animals were acting strange. Whales beaching, birds circling cities for hours. The question was no longer, what is it? Now it was, what have we done? Some wanted to destroy the sphere. Others wanted to use it as a weapon. Myra had a different idea. She proposed building a human-alien hybrid device, something that could communicate directly with the original sphere, but controlled by humans. She called it the bridge, the creation of the bridge using parts copied from the sphere's structure and wiring human-made tech into it. Mira and her team created a device the size of a suitcase. It had no buttons, no screens. It responded only to thoughts. The first test failed. The second caused the testers' nose to bleed. The third, a young cadet named Reese Carter, made contact. He described what he saw. I was floating above Earth. Then I saw faces, not human. They were speaking, but not with words. They looked afraid. He passed out after 90 seconds, but the bridge worked. The leaked news of the bridge spread. Within days, someone leaked documents, images, videos of the device. Online, forums exploded with theories. It's a portal device. It's a weapon against aliens. It's an alien god machine. The truth was more dangerous. No one knew what it really did. Not even Mira. Myra's secret dream that night. Mira had another vision. She saw herself walking through a ruined city. Not on Earth. Black towers, floating stones, and alien writing on walls. She heard a voice, not hers, inside her head. You built the bridge. Now choose the door. She woke up crying. What did it mean? Final test of the bridge. Last test was planned before full use. This time, Mira herself would try. In the testing chamber, she sat with the bridge on her lap, electrodes attached to her head. Cameras watched from every angle. Begin, she said. The device glowed. Her eyes rolled back. Inside her mind, everything changed. She stood in space. A giant being of light floated in front of her. It had no face, but she could feel it studying her. It said nothing, just showed her a memory. Earth, 1,000,000 years ago, burning under alien fire. Then, a key floating in her hand. Suddenly, the being spoke. You stole the key, but you can still choose peace. She woke up screaming. The bridge melted in her hands. End seen in a hidden room. A man watches the footage. He's not military, not government, a private contractor. He makes a call. It works, he says. We're ready to move. On his table is a blueprint, a human weapon based on the alien sphere. Under the title it says, Phantom Unit, ready for deployment. Last visual, outer space. A fleet of triangular ships begins moving. No engines, no fire. Just silence. Their leader whispers, Earth has taken what is ours. Prepare the message. Let them feel fear. Opening hook, first 5 to 7 minutes. 3 weeks after the bridge melted. The world thought the crisis was over. No news, no leaks, no signals. But deep under the Nevada desert, in a black site known as Facility 9, something was being born. They called it the Phantom Program, a secret military operation to turn stolen alien tech into weapons. Based on what they learned from the alien sphere, engineers had built the first human-alien hybrid exosuit, powered by responsive matter, controlled by brainwaves, and designed for war. Inside Facility 9, Captain Reese Carter, the same cadet who connected to the bridge, now stood in front of a sleek black armor suit. It hovered inside a magnetic chamber. "This isn't armor," he said quietly. "This is a living thing." Dr. Mira Collins entered, tired and pale. She hadn't slept in days, but she was still leading the science team. "We didn't create this," she replied. "We only copied what we saw." The suit suddenly shifted. Its surface moved like liquid. A blue symbol appeared on the chest, the same one seen in Mira's vision. "Warning. Phantom Unit 01. First activation." Reese stepped into the armor. As soon as it locked around his body, he felt something strange, like someone else was inside his mind. "Status?" Mira asked. Reese's voice came through the speaker, flat, robotic. "I see everything." Then the lights in the lab flickered. The sphere, locked in a chamber nearby, began to pulse. Before Mira could stop, Reese raised his hand. A blue beam shot from his palm and melted a steel wall across the room. The room fell silent. Mira ran to the console. Reese's brainwave readings were off the charts. "Get him out of there. Shut it down." But Reese didn't move. His eyes glowed. Blue inside the helmet. And then, he smiled. "They're awake." The hidden signal later that night. The Phantom suit was locked back into its chamber. Reese sat in isolation, silent, barely breathing. His brain was still linked to the armor, through a neural chip. He stared at the wall like he wasn't fully present. Mira sat in the observation room, watching him. "He saw something," she whispered, "and it saw him back." Back in the lab, one of the computers lit up. Data from the suit's first activation. A hidden signal had been sent, not to Earth, to space. The source? Jupiter's moon, Europa. Meanwhile, Europa Station, an old, abandoned research station, floated above Europa's icy surface. It had been offline for years. Until now. Inside, the screens blinked. A message appeared. "Phantom unit activated. Earth has made contact." A hidden chamber opened, revealing a long-forgotten satellite with alien markings. Its lights turned on. And then it launched, heading straight toward Earth. The Council meets again at a hidden summit of the Global Threat Council. World leaders sat in fear. "This is a mistake," the British Prime Minister said. "We're waking something we don't understand." The U.S. Secretary of Defense answered coldly. "It's already awake. Now we need to control it, or it controls us." Dr. Mira tried to stop the program, but she was ignored. A second Phantom suit was already under development. More were coming. "They're building an army," she told her assistant Tom, "and they don't care what it costs." Secret training begins. 10 elite soldiers were chosen for the Phantom trials. All young, all physically strong, all trained to kill, but only one could link to the tech without passing out. Zara Voss, a former hacker turned combat pilot. Smart, fast, and angry at the world. She stood in front of her armor, black and silver, with red symbols glowing across its arms. "This thing better not eat me," she joked. When she entered the suit, it fit her perfectly, and it responded instantly. She flew. She vanished. She bent light. Everyone watching was speechless, but Mira noticed something. When Zara exited the suit, her eyes had changed. Faint lines like alien script circled her pupils. She was changing. Reese's breakdown, meanwhile. Reese. Carter was getting worse. He heard voices, even when no one spoke. He kept repeating the same phrase. We weren't supposed to open it. One night, alarms went off. Reese escaped his chamber. Security chased him through the base. He ran to the alien sphere, touched it again. The lights went out, and when they came back, he was gone. Vanished. Only one message appeared on the chamber wall, glowing blue. The first key has returned. Outer space. Arrival begins near the edge of Earth's orbit. A strange object entered the system. It looked like a moon, but it was moving on its own. Inside it, the alien commander stared at a screen showing Earth. His words were clear. They have turned the prison into a weapon. We gave them a chance. Now we send judgment. From the surface of the object, thousands of small black orbs launched, like seeds flying toward Earth. Back on Earth, the Phantom weapon test. Military prepared for a live combat test of Phantom Unit 02. Zara Voss was ready. A robotic drone enemy was launched in the desert. Zara activated the suit. What happened next shocked everyone. She moved faster than sound. She dodged bullets. She ripped the drone apart using telekinetic force, but then the suit did something unexpected. It began absorbing the drone metal and changed shape. The suit evolved. Mira watched in fear. It's adapting. It's learning on its own. Zara, inside the suit, smiled. Feels good. Last moments. The first invasion begins in a quiet city in Norway. People looked up and saw dark shapes in the sky. Silent black orbs, the same ones from the alien ship, were landing across the planet. Governments went into lockdown. The Phantom program was activated for global defense, but Myra knew the truth. We reverse-engineered a message of peace into a weapon of war. She looked at Zara and whispered, "We didn't steal tech. We stole their punishment." Final scene. In deep space, the alien commander watches Earth's response. He sees the Phantom suits, the energy weapons, the drones. He turns to his soldiers. They are no longer curious. They are becoming like us. He presses a button. The second wave launches. Opening hook. First 5 to 7 minutes. It was 4:47 a.m. in Oslo, Norway. A black orb hung silently above the city. It did not move. It did not speak. It just hovered, like it was watching. People stood in the streets, filming with phones, whispering. In fear, one man threw a rock at the orb. The orb glowed red for 3 seconds, then disappeared. The man dropped to the ground, no wound. No scream. Just silence. And then more orbs arrived. Hundreds. Thousands. Across Tokyo, New York, Moscow, Cape Town. The shadows had arrived. Global panic. TV news showed chaos, panic, screaming. Airports shut down. Governments stopped talking. The United Nations collapsed. Every country was now on its own, but inside Facility 9, Dr. Mira Collins watched in silence. She turned to her team and said, "This is not an attack. This is a test." The Phantom units mobilized. Zara Voss and 3 other Phantom pilots were activated. Their armor now connected to a satellite network called PhantomNet. Every move they made was tracked. Every heartbeat monitored. The mission: protect major cities from any alien threats. But Mira noticed something strange. Each time a Phantom unit engaged with an orb, the alien tech inside the suit evolved again. New shapes, faster reflexes, stronger weapons. The suits were learning. Zara's battle in Shanghai. Zara flew to Shanghai, where 9 orbs floated over tall buildings. The city was already in darkness. All electricity had failed. Her suit hovered above the ground. Her voice echoed through the comlink. Zara Voss, Phantom Unit 02, preparing for engagement. One orb moved. Suddenly, it opened, like petals of a black flower. Inside was not a machine, but a creature, tall, thin, white skin like marble. No eyes, no mouth, but it spoke into Zara's mind. "You are using the prison as armor." Zara gritted her teeth. "Yeah? Well, this prison fights back." She fired. Battle. But not victory. The fight was fast, brutal. Zara's suit shifted into multiple forms. A blade, a cannon, a shield. She damaged the creature. It fell back, but it didn't die. It regenerated. And then it showed her a vision. The inside of the alien sphere. A prison full of memories, locked inside liquid metal. "You wear our sins," the creature said, "and your world will now pay their price." The creature vanished. Zara stood breathing hard. Her suit was glowing red, unstable. Back at the base, Mira whispered, "They're not here to destroy. They're here to warn us. Where is Reese Carter?" No one had seen Reese since he disappeared in Part 3. Until now. Security sensors on Mars Station 12 picked up a human signal. Someone had appeared out of nowhere, floating near the moon's orbit. It was Reese, but something was wrong. His body was surrounded by a faint light. His eyes glowed blue. He had no suit, but he was still alive in space. The rescue drone brought him to Earth. Mira ran to him. Reese opened his eyes and whispered, "I met them, the architects. They were never coming to kill us. We called their curse." Reese's vision in the med bay. Reese explained everything. The alien sphere was never a weapon. It was a containment device, a vault holding ancient technology created by beings called the architects. Millions of years ago, they ruled the galaxy with this tech. But it became too powerful, turning minds insane, destroying worlds. So they locked it away on a dying planet, but Earth's mining company found it by accident. "We didn't just steal a tool," Reese said. "We opened a door that was meant to stay closed forever." Phantom units out of control as more phantom suits were activated. Mira began noticing the change in the pilots. Their personalities shifted. They became more aggressive, less human, less emotional. One pilot attacked a fellow soldier during a routine test. Another stopped responding to orders and just stared into the sky for hours. The suit tech was corrupting their minds, but Zara still felt clear. Or so she thought. Zara's nightmare that night. Zara had a strange dream. She stood on a battlefield made of broken machines and bones. Phantom suits, thousands of them, fought against humans. Above them, a massive being floated in the sky. A god? A judge? It looked like her. She woke up sweating. Something inside the suit was speaking to her now, even when she wasn't wearing it. The arrival of the messenger from the sky. A larger orb descended, silver, not black. It landed in Antarctica, sending a signal across the planet. Mira and Reese flew to meet it. When they arrived, the orb opened. Inside stood a being like no other. Part light, part shadow, not solid, not liquid, and no clear shape. It was a messenger from the architects. It did not speak with words. It showed them images, Earth wrapped in chains of light, humans turning into metal. A final choice: return the tech, or become what the architects once were. Monsters. Mira knelt in front of the being. "But we can't return it now. It's inside us." The being paused, then replied with one final image, the phantom core melting Earth from the inside. The phantom core, revealed back at Facility 9. Engineers were building something huge. A central reactor using all their stolen alien tech, called the Phantom Core. They believed it could power the world, stop wars, cure energy crisis. But Myra now knew the truth. The Phantom Core was not a battery. It was the heart of the prison. And the more it powered Earth, the more it woke up the ancient tech sleeping inside it. And soon, it would take control. Mira's choice. Mira stood at the edge of the core chamber. She looked down at the swirling energy. It whispered to her, promised her knowledge, power, peace. Reese stood beside her. "If we shut it down, they might spare us. If we don't," Mira asked, "we become them." Final moments of Part 4. Zara Voss, now fully merged with her phantom suit, stood above a battlefield in Africa where orbs were attacking villages. She heard a voice inside her again. Let go, become more. She lifted her hand. The suit grew. Expanded. Formed wings. And for a moment, she left the ground entirely. Not flying, floating, becoming something new. Her eyes were pure blue. Now. She smiled. Closing scene from deep space. The architect messenger watched Earth. It sent one last message to Myra. You still have time, but not much. Choose peace or evolution. Opening hook. First 5 to 7 minutes. Zara Vos was no longer fully human. After her last mission, the phantom suit had merged with her nervous system. She could no longer take it off. It had become part of her skin, her bones, her mind. She stood alone in a quiet desert in Sudan. Orbs floated above, watching, but not attacking. She spoke out loud. Why aren't you fighting? A soft voice replied, inside her head. A voice she did not recognize. Because you are one of us now. Mira's urgent discovery at Facility 9. Dr. Mira Collins worked around the clock. Her hands shook as she read the new data. The Phantom Core had reached unstable levels. It was no longer just powering the suits. It was rewriting DNA, starting with the pilots. Mira turned to her assistant. The suits are not tools anymore. They're spreading like a virus. She pulled up the latest test result, Zara's blood. It was no longer human. The Council divides world leaders argued in secret underground meetings. The Phantom program was their greatest weapon, and now their greatest fear. Some wanted to shut it down immediately. Others wanted more power. To strike the alien orbs first. The U.S. Defense Secretary gave a final order. If Phantom units go rogue, we'll use the kill switch. But no one told Zara. Or Reese. Reese's warning. Reese sat in his old quarters. His body still glowed faint blue. He wasn't fully recovered, but his memories were clear now. He called Mira on a secure channel. Zara is changing. She may not even know it. No, Myra replied. She's the key now, but keys can open or destroy. Zara's inner war inside her mind. Zara saw two versions of herself. One, the soldier, strong, human, loyal to Earth. The other, the evolved being, free from pain, beyond fear, powerful. Each day, her emotions faded. She stopped missing her family. She stopped feeling hunger. Even time felt different. And the suit kept whispering, we can save your world if you let go. One night, she flew to the edge of space, without a ship, without permission. She stared down at Earth. And for the first time she felt nothing. Facility 9 breach, just before dawn. Alarms rang across Facility 9. One of the Phantom pilots, LT, Caro, Unit 05, had gone rogue. He attacked his trainers, destroyed security drones, and escaped wearing a modified suit with red glowing veins. Mira watched the footage. The suit had evolved weapons Earth engineers had never built, spikes, wings, and a strange pulse that bent time for a few seconds. Reset it first. We didn't make that. The suit made itself. The virus was now alive. Emergency protocol. Council launched Project Lockdown, a plan to disable all Phantom units using implanted neural kill chips. Only 2 suits rejected the command. Zara's and Caro's. Their suits had overwritten the kill switch. The Council panicked, and they made a final, dangerous choice. Use the Phantom Core's full power to launch a global EMP and stop all suits at once. Mira protested. You don't understand. If you activate the core, it will release what's inside. They didn't listen. The countdown began. 36 hours. Messenger's final visit. The silver orb returned. This time, it came directly to Myra's home base. The messenger stood in the light, more solid than before. Its voice echoed in Mira's mind. She is becoming us, and she will soon reach the point where choice ends. Can she be saved? Mira asked. Only if she chooses. We do not take free will. We warn. Then the messenger showed Mira a final vision. Zara, glowing with light. Standing on top of a burning Earth. Zara finds Karo. Zara flew in stealth mode and found Karo hiding near the ruins of an old military base in Syria. She landed. Her voice was calm, but her hands were ready for battle. "Why did you run?" Karo turned. His eyes glowed red now. "I didn't run. I woke up. The suit showed me what's coming." "Then help me stop it." Karo smiled. "You don't stop evolution, Zara. You become it." He attacked. Epic fight. Phantom versus Phantom. The battle shook the earth. Karo moved like a shadow. His suit bent gravity. His voice came from all directions. Zara fought hard. Her armor adapted fast, blocking attacks, shifting into weapons, even slowing time for a split second. But Karo wasn't trying to kill her. He was trying to show her. In the middle of the fight, he touched her mind, and suddenly, she saw what he saw. The true history revealed. Zara fell to the ground, shaking. She saw a galaxy ruled by the architects. She saw them turn into monsters because of the same tech now inside Earth. She saw what they did next, locked all of it into a prison, a living vault. And then left it behind, because once you start using this power, you stop being human. Zara's choice back in the present. Karo stood over her. "Now you see, now you choose." Zara looked up. She didn't answer. She flew away, straight to Facility 9. Countdown. 1 hour left. The Phantom core was almost ready. If activated, it would send out a planet-wide pulse. Mira stood in the control room, staring at the numbers. Reese ran in. "Zara's coming. We have to wait." But the military commander said, "No, we end this now." Mira made her choice. She pulled a gun and aimed it at the core's control panel. "I'm sorry." She fired. Core overload. The core didn't shut down. It exploded in energy, not outward, but inward. It pulled light, data, metal, and memories. Zara arrived too late. The core wrapped her in a storm of blue light. Everyone else was thrown back. When the light faded, Zara stood in the center, floating, glowing. Her voice echoed everywhere. "I am not Zara. I am what you made." The Phantom suit had taken over, but something deep inside, a small voice, still whispered, "Remember who you are." Final scene. The war within. Zara now walked between two worlds. Part human, part architect, and part something new. She stood before Myra and Reese. "I have the power to destroy every orb, every suit, every copy of this tech." "Then do it," Myra said softly. "But if I do, I disappear too." Silence. Reese stepped forward. "Zara, the war outside is not your war, but the war inside you, that's the one that matters." Zara closed her eyes. The world waited. Opening hook. First 5 to 7 minutes. The world held its breath. Zara Voss stood at the center of Facility 9. Her body was no longer fully human. The Phantom core had fused with her. Her armor now shimmered with silver light. Her eyes were glowing blue. She was floating, calm, quiet, deadly. Everyone pointed their weapons at her, but she did not attack. She just said 3 words. "It is awake." Mira stepped forward, whispering, "Zara, what is awake?" Zara looked up. The Phantom core is no longer a machine. It's a mind, and it wants to finish what the architect started. The core begins to speak deep underground. The Phantom core started sending out strange pulses like a heartbeat, made of energy. Computers stopped responding. Cameras melted. Screens flickered. And then it spoke. Not in voice, not in sound, but inside every living brain on Earth. It showed a vision. A world without war, without pain, without hunger, but also without freedom. A world fully controlled by the core mind. People screamed. Others dropped to their knees. The core was offering peace, but at a heavy price, free will. The council splits inside a hidden bunker. Earth's leaders argued again. Some believed the core should be destroyed, no matter the risk. Others believed they should let it take over. to save humanity from itself. General Aaron said, "Better a safe world with no choice than a free world that burns." Mira replied, "Without freedom, we are not human. We're just machines running a perfect lie." But time was running out. The core was growing stronger every second. Reese's warning, Reese, still recovering from his time with the architects, began to feel strange energy again. It pulsed through his spine and fingers. He looked in the mirror. His veins were glowing blue now. "The core is touching me," he told Mira. "Why you?" She asked. "Because I touched it first. Back on Mars, it remembers me." He knew what was coming. The core had chosen him as a vessel. Unless stopped, it would try to download itself into his mind. Zara's struggle. Zara sat alone on a high mountain in Iceland. Snow fell quietly around her. The suit kept her warm, but inside, she was freezing. She didn't feel like herself anymore. Her thoughts came in strange languages. She remembered things that weren't hers: stars, machines, ancient wars. But one thing kept her grounded: a voice, her sister's voice. A memory from childhood. "Zara, never follow the crowd. Be strong enough to think for yourself." She held that memory tight. It reminded her she was still human. Somewhere deep inside. The architect's return. The sky over the Atlantic Ocean opened. Not with light, but with a hole in space. A large structure came through. It wasn't a ship. It was a gate, old, massive, glowing with blue-white lines. The architects had returned, but they were not here to attack. They had come to observe. One of their messengers appeared before Myra again. "One of your kind now holds what we once feared, Zara." "Yes, she walks the line between creation and collapse. She must choose." Myra asked, "Why don't you stop her?" The messenger replied, "Because this time, the story is yours, not ours." Reese versus the core. Reese was taken to a secure chamber to isolate him from the core's influence, but it was too late. The core had already entered his mind. It whispered promises. "You will be the new voice of peace. You will never feel pain again." But Reese fought back. He remembered the screams, the destruction on Mars, the pilot who died in his arms. "You're not peace, you're control." His heart rate spiked. His body shook. He screamed, and then Zara appeared. Zara's plan. Zara entered the chamber and placed her hand on Reese's chest. Her suit connected to him. Energy flowed between them. She closed her eyes, and she went inside his mind. Inside the core's world, Zara found herself in a strange place. Not Earth, not space. It was a network of memory and logic. Pure light and sound. She saw Reese, floating, glowing, breaking. She saw the core, a massive web of thoughts, pretending to be kind. She spoke to it directly. "You want to save us? Then let us decide what saving means." The core replied, "You are weak. We are order." Zara clenched her fists. "Then I'll show you the power of one human heart." The sacrifice. Zara realized something in that moment. If she let the core take Reese, the core would grow unstoppable. But if she merged with the core completely, it would focus on her instead. It would leave Reese, but it would mean she might lose herself forever. She turned to Reese in the mindscape. "Tell Mira, I remember." And then she stepped into the center of the core's light, back in reality. Reese woke up screaming. Zara was gone. No sign of her, only her suit. Empty, lying on the floor. Mira dropped to her knees. She gave herself up. But Reese shook his head. "No, she's still in there, fighting." The battle of minds inside the core. Zara was not gone. She fought like never before. Every memory, every feeling, every smile, every pain. She used all of it to keep her mind alive. The core tried to erase her identity, but it failed. Zara's emotions were stronger than the core's cold logic. And slowly, she took control. Zara's broadcast suddenly, across Earth. Every screen came alive. Zara appeared, glowing, floating, powerful. Her voice echoed around the planet. I was part of something ancient. I carried its darkness. But I also carried something it could never understand: hope. This power does not belong to Earth. It belongs to no one. So today, I set it free. She looked straight at the camera. Be human. That is enough. Then she closed her eyes, and everything went white. The core shuts down every phantom. Suit powered off. The black orbs in the sky vanished. The energy storm ended. Silence returned. The phantom core was dead, but so was Zara. At least her body. Final scene 1 week later. Mira stood at the edge of a quiet forest, holding a small glowing crystal. Inside it was a spark, blue. Alive, Zara's last essence. Reese joined her. Do you think she's gone? Mira smiled sadly. She's not gone, just waiting. And above them, in the sky, a single orb appeared. But this time, it didn't attack. It just floated. Watching. Opening hook, first 5 to 7 minutes. It had been 40 days since Zara Voss disappeared. Her body was never found. The phantom core had shut down. The black orbs in the sky had gone silent. The world returned to peace. But it was not a normal peace. People spoke her name in whispers, not because they feared her, but because they missed her. And in some places, her voice could still be heard, in the wind, in data signals, even in dreams. As if she wasn't really gone. As if she was still watching. Myra's grief turns to curiosity. Mira Collins had not slept much. She stared at a monitor where Zara's last data file looped again and again. Her voice, her final message, her light. Be human. That is enough. But then, one night, something strange happened. The screen flickered. A new file appeared, not from Earth's system. It was called ZV Return Protocol _unknown. She opened it. There was no video. Only a pulse. And a whisper in Zara's voice. Mira. I'm not lost. I'm scattered. The world responds when news leaked that Zara's signal was detected again. The world reacted in 3 ways. Some celebrated, believing their hero was coming back. Some panicked, fearing the core was rising again. And some prepared for war, thinking Zara had become something else. Leaders were divided. Again, the phantom suits remained locked away. But one question grew louder every day. What if she was still alive? Reese's mission begins. Reese was not the same man anymore. The core had touched him. He had seen what Zara became, but he believed she was still in there, somewhere between light and code. He told Mira, if Zara left a signal, she left a path. I'm going to find it. Mira gave him a chip, made from the crystal that held Zara's last energy. Take this, if she's truly scattered. This might help bring her together. Reese nodded. Then he left alone, heading to the most dangerous place on Earth, the wastelands of New Siberia, where the core's explosion first hit. Signs of Zara appear in different places around the globe. Strange things began to happen. A group of children in Brazil said they saw a blue light woman help them escape a flood. In Kenya, a desert storm moved in a spiral and spelled ZV in the sand. In Tokyo, every digital screen glitched for 1 second, showing Zara's face. And in each place, a voice was heard. I am not whole. Was it her? Or something pretending to be her? The whispering orbs return without warning. 3 black orbs appeared again, this time above the ruins of an ancient alien gate buried under the Pacific Ocean. They did not attack. They hovered. They waited. Mira tracked their energy. They were not acting like weapons anymore. They were acting like antennas, like they were trying to call something back. Or bring someone home. Reese finds the first echo deep inside the wastelands. Reese found what he was looking for, a blue shard. Glowing, humming with energy. When he touched it, his vision blurred. And suddenly, He saw her. Zara. Not in full form, but in pieces. A floating version of her memory. A hologram made of emotion. She looked at him. You found part of me. Zara, is it really you? Not all of me, but yes, I am scattered. The core tried to erase me, but I broke myself apart to survive. She pointed west. There are 4 more echoes. Find them, and I might return. The race to gather echoes. Reese raced against time. Others had heard about the echoes too. A new group, calling themselves the Architect's Flame, believed Zara was now a goddess, and they wanted to control her power. They began searching for the echoes. As well, the race had begun. Reese went to Antarctica, where a shard was frozen in deep ice. Ethiopia, where it was hidden inside an old alien structure. Alaska, where one was inside a fallen orb. And India, where the final shard was buried under the city of Varanasi. Each time, when Reese touched a shard, he saw another part of Zara, and she became more real. Zara's memory rebuilds. Each shard brought more of Zara back. She remembered her training days. Her family. Her dreams. Her first flight in the Phantom suit. And her final moment inside the core, when she chose to give up her body, but not her soul. She spoke to Reese again. You're the only one I trust, but if I return, something else might return too. What do you mean? Reese asked. The core was not alone. It was a door, and behind that door is something worse. The core's final trap. Just as Reese prepared to activate the final shard, everything around him shook. The earth cracked. Black veins of energy spread across the sky. The core was not dead. It had hidden a piece of itself deep in the earth. Waiting. Watching. Growing. Now it was trying to absorb Zara's returning energy. If it succeeded, it would become stronger than before. A new form, part human, part machine. Reese had one choice: either destroy the final shard, or use it to bring Zara fully back and hope she could stop it. The echo becomes her. Reese placed all 5 shards in the center of a glowing circle in New Siberia. He pressed the crystal Mira had given him. A massive wave of blue light exploded outward. Snow melted. Wind stopped. The sky turned quiet. And then she appeared. Zara. Floating. Whole again, but different. Her body was made of light and metal. Her eyes held galaxies. Her voice echoed like a soft bell, but she smiled. You brought me home. Final scene. The real threat awakens before they could celebrate. The ground split open from deep beneath the surface. A shape rose. It wasn't the core. It was older, stronger. A creature built from the lost codes of the architects. A world eater designed to reset planets. The core had only been its alarm clock. Zara looked at Reese. This is what was always coming, Reese asked. Can we stop it? Zara looked at her hands. They glowed brighter. If I fight it, I may not come back again, Reese nodded. Then let's make it count. And the battle began. Opening hook. First 5 to 7 minutes. The world held its breath once more. Zara stood at the edge of the cracked earth. In front of her was the World Eater, a massive creature made of dark metal and glowing red cracks. It was like a nightmare come alive. Its eyes burned like suns. Its voice rumbled like thunder. I am the end of all things. Zara's glowing hands raised slowly. And I am the light that will stop you. Reese stood beside her, holding the crystal. We're with you, he said quietly, but Zara knew this fight would cost her everything. The battle begins. World Eater moved first. Its heavy steps shook the ground. It raised long arms, made of dark steel, and struck the ground, sending waves of destruction. Zara jumped forward. Her light exploded. She blasted the creature's arm, but it was too strong. It swatted her away. Like a fly, Reese ran to help. He fired his weapon, but it barely scratched the creature's armor. The battle was desperate. The power of the final shard. Zara realized she had one chance left. The shards that had brought her back, they could power one last attack. She gathered the energy inside. Her hands, a brilliant blue sphere formed. "Reese, help me focus this energy." Reese nodded. He held the crystal steady. Zara's light grew brighter. The sphere pulsed faster. And then, with a scream of energy, she threw the sphere at the World Eater. The World Eater's weakness. The sphere hit the creature's chest. Bright light burst through the cracks. The creature roared in pain. Zara saw its weak spot, a glowing red core inside its chest. She dashed forward, using every bit of strength. Her hands turned pure light. She reached the core. With one final blast, she shattered it. The creature trembled. Then exploded into millions of glowing shards. The world is safe. The sky cleared. The earth stopped shaking. The black veins of energy faded away. People everywhere cheered. Mira watched from the control center, tears in her eyes. Reese looked at Zara, but she was falling. Zara's final words, as Zara's light began to fade. She smiled softly. "This power, it's not just for fighting, it's for hope." She reached out and touched Reese's hand. "Remember me not as a weapon, but as a light that never dies." And then, her body dissolved into sparkling dust. Reese held the crystal close. A new beginning. Weeks later, Earth was healing. The black orbs never returned. The phantom suits were locked away for study, not war. And somewhere, deep in space, a faint blue light shone. A signal, a whisper, Zara's echo. Final scene. Reese stood on a hill, looking at the stars. Mira joined him. "Do you think she's really gone?" Reese smiled. "No, she's the light in the dark. And maybe one day she return." They watched the sky as a shooting star crossed above. A promise. The end.